man beats up his wife to coma. When he was asked why he beat up the wife, to that point he said it was because the wife provoked him to anger. But he forgot to mention that between the time the wife provoked him and the time he reacted, he had a space in between. That space in between created a platform for him to make a choice. The Nigeria experience is a similar experience. Nigeria became an independent nation in October 1st, 1960, but today we are still very dependent. That we became a republic in 1960 but are still living like slaves in our own country is to say the obvious. While the masses are complaining that the leaders are not working, the leaders are quick to point accusing fingers to their predecessors who have mismanaged and loot the nation's national resources and its natural abundance. And so the blame game continues. Have you ever taken your time to think deeply about Nigeria being ranked among the world's most corrupt nations of the world? Our government is busy celebrating the news that Transparency International ranked Nigeria as 136 most corrupt nations in the world, an improvement from her previous third placement years before. What an irony. Ponder on this. We cannot have a corrupt nation without a corrupt system, and a corrupt system does not operate in a vacuum. It needs a corrupt system to sustain it. A corrupt people is made up of a corrupt individual or persons who themselves come from a corrupt family setup. Wait a minute, does it mean that we are all corrupt? Just think about it. It was in the midst of this rudderlessness of the Nigeria boat, coupled with our failed economy, that members of the Nigeria army, being themselves Nigeria, felt compelled to salvage the situation from the hands of our self-centered and egocentric politicians that pilot the affair of Nigeria. It is no longer an illusion that we now see young Nigeria youths and teenagers put on America and other countries' branded t-shirts as against the nation's lovely brands. Our young people now queue up at embassies and immigration domain in order to get international visas and passports to go help develop another man's land at the detriment of our great land Nigeria. As it stands now, the Nigeria state is in a near collapse state, with nearly or a total collapse of our health, infrastructure, educational and even our morality. Now we ask where we go from here. We must realize that the American dream is nothing over and above the idea American, which an average American citizen was able to create first at the level of his mind and passionately work it out to bring it to reality. It is about time we begin to dream about the idea Nigeria. The Nigeria dream, where citizens will ask, what can I do for my country, and not vice versa. A country whose leadership is accountable not just to himself and his crumbs of political jobbers, but to the populace that voted him into power. A country where individuals are responsible to themselves, their neighbor, and the society at large. A country truth and justice is placed over lies and lip service. A nation with a reformed identities and ideologies. I dare to say that Nigeria cannot be a great nation until we have a brand new people. We cannot have a brand new people until we have a brand families made up of brand new individuals who have a brand new mind set about Nigeria. Making Nigeria great starts with you and me. The journey of making Nigeria the world's most desirable nation to live in starts today with you and me becoming the most desirable individuals in the most desirable manner and most desirable manner and most desirable environment. It's not beyond our reach. It's all in our hands. God bless Nigeria.